Hello Virgo, welcome in. Welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name is Wendy Wing. I'm doing a psychic tarot reading, tuning into the day's energy, seeing what divine messages of guidance come through. This is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. I want to take this opportunity to invite you to a transformational group session I'll be doing live on March 20th, 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. It's online, 1 hour, and in that space I'll be doing about a 40-minute tarot reading to move the energies, and then taking the last 20 minutes of the session to clear, deprogram anything that's keeping you blocked around your base chakra, around abundance, clearing codependency or dependency issues, clearing fears around your security, stability. We've got energies coming in. It's quite an amazing group of divine beings. Kali Ma, Saint Germain and the Violet Flame, Yeshua, Christ Force Healing, Archangel Michael, Saint Francis of Assisi, the Essassani, and Arcturians. This is quite a healing, transformational space. There's a lot of energies at play, so if you are drawn to that, that sounds like something that you would like to be a part of. I'll put the link in the description box below, and you can sign up there. So, all right, Virgos, let's get to your reading. What's the overall energy of this reading? Thank you. What's hidden? All right. Outcome and advice. Thank you. All right. Wow. The overall energy of the reading. We've got the Queen of Cups in reverse, the Four of Cups, and the Chariot. Okay, the Queen of Cups in reverse. This is someone very wounded and unable to sit with their woundedness, unable to heal. Feels like the Queen of Cups in reverse is someone who has experienced a lot of emotional wounds and a lot of upset, but doesn't know what to do with those energies, those emotions. Feels like the Queen of Cups in reverse gets very overwhelmed very quickly. Feels like the Queen of Cups in reverse is someone who doesn't know their own value, who's very much stuck in this wounded pattern, some type of wounded pattern. Four of Cups, it looks like he's pouring out that cup. This is the after tarot. So normally we see the divine is offering a cup of love to this person. And in this, the next step, this person is saying, nope, no thank you, not interested. Why is the Queen of Cups in reverse not accepting this cup of love? Eight of Swords. There's some type of belief, a limiting belief. It feels like, let me see what that limiting belief feels like. A lot of fears keeping the Queen of Cups in that wounded space. Okay, this feels like someone who is fresh from being wounded or has not been able to process. So they're It might be years from their woundedness, but it feels like it happened today. The Queen of Cups in reverse is someone who keeps bringing the past to the present and reliving the traumas and upset like they're happening right now. Are stuck in a story of hurt. Ooh. When I've been in this space, when I've embodied the Queen of Cups in reverse energy, when I've been in a stuck, wounded space, through the lens of that woundedness, everyone looks like they're out to get me. It is not a space to create beliefs or to try to find truths. When you are in your emotions, when you are in the trauma of what has happened, then it limits your ability to see accurately what's going on and who's in front of you, because you're seeing everything through a fog of woundedness, like a wounded animal. Someone might be coming in and trying to help you, but everything hurts, and so you might project your fears and concerns and woundedness on those who are trying to help you. I've had Queen of Cups in reverse people also show up in one-on-one in readings. And even though I am wanting to help them, I am giving them the messages to help them, they can't get out of that woundedness or that story. And so they chronically keep repeating a story of victimization, a victim mentality. I've been in this energy, so I am not trying to project onto anyone else. If you've been in this energy and moved past it, then you can recognize through healing that, oh, I wasn't in a space that I could really be grounded and present and see things clearly. I was in my wounds. All right. With the Chariot coming in, it feels like there's a real opportunity here to make some moves, to move on from this way of being. Feels like part of this Four of Cups, what he's spilling out is a story. Tales of woe and victimization, and a need to heal and move on from those stories. To heal that mindset, that limiting mindset, to heal what's here, to care about your emotions and feelings and heal those. Learn how to hold space for your woundedness, to let go of the story and sit with the feelings and process them. Let them, you are not your feelings. You are the experiencer of your feelings. So a lot of people in this space, I know I did, I identified with my woundedness. One tool that helped me is my fears, my hurt. It's when it's here, it's so hard to process because it feels like it's you and that you are wounded and hurt. What helped me is kind of pulling this energy out and imagining the woundedness, whatever is arising, in front of me. What shape does this have? What does my woundedness look like? What is it here to teach me? And get curious about the woundedness and not identify self as wounded. I had decades of momentum going in a story of victimization. And the more I kept that victim story, the more I was victimized. So to step out of that story, I had to let and allow that story to die down in my space, so I can move on from it and create a different version of myself and experience a different life for myself outside of that story. What else would help Virgo? Knight of Pentacles, Ace of Cups in reverse. You might have been cultivating a story of lack, of a story of being abandoned, a story of being abused, misused, uncared for. And although that might be true, it's not helping you energetically if this is your reading. It feels like you are ready to put this story to rest. Not argue with someone who's trying to help you move past this, to heal from this and move on. It looks like there's a need to take control of your story. And if you do not enjoy the story that you've been leading, how to heal from it and move on and change your story feels like what I'd be curious about and interested in. If you are waiting for someone outside of you to rescue you and treat you with the love and care, if you don't have that activated in your space, how would you know what love is? It feels like what I'm perceiving here is learning how to love yourself. Loving yourself by not giving from an empty cup. Loving yourself by telling yourself amazing things about yourself, reminding yourself of wonderful things about you, validating your own feelings, creating healthy boundaries. All right, let's look at what's hidden. We've got Justice reverse, Six of Cups, Temperance reverse. So this looks like a lot of injustices in your childhood, imbalanced ways of believing that set you up to be in this victim mentality. It feels like there's a lot of injustices, being treated unfairly. Feels like you were parentifying your parents, taking care of them, making sure they feel good, making sure everyone in the environment feels good. It looks like what I'm seeing is a need to heal from childhood wounds and injustices. It looks like you might be trying to find your happiness in environments and from people that were meant to be lessons. I'm also getting, there's something here about being raised to believe that you're not allowed to be happy. You're not allowed to have your own desires, your own wishes, your own needs. And this type of training, this type of way of being raised as a child created a lot of injustices for you. Made it very difficult to find happiness, true happiness, fulfillment, like soul fulfillment. And it looks like this has been a lesson. And there's a need to move on and learn from these lessons. To create healthy boundaries. Some of you might have a bit of learned helplessness, CPTSD, PTSD, kind of stuck in a fawning or freeze type of energy that has kept you overgiving to others and not requiring anything in return, and creating a story of being taken advantage of. Yes, these stories can be completely true and accurate. However, we are in a creative space and you are a creative being. If you do not like the story, and if you're tired, and if you're ready to put the story behind you, then there's a need to let go of that old story and create a new story. When I stopped beating the drum of my old story, of my victimization, I had such momentum going from decades of the same stories, of the same traumas and tragedies I'd think about pretty much every day, bringing them into the present, bringing that identity, bringing the trauma and upset. I didn't know. I didn't know what I didn't know. So when I finally heard these type of messages that I needed to let go of that old story, it takes a bit of time, because that momentum of that story has been chugging along like a steamliner for decades. And so you can't just turn it around and then go the other way. Ding. I had to slow down the momentum of the story, consciously letting go of the story. I'm not going to repeat that story. I don't want that story. Letting go of that old story. Learning to sit with my emotions and process them. Eventually, the steamliner slows down enough that I could turn it around and start moving it and accelerating in a direction I prefer, and becoming the person I prefer to be, with a story I prefer to have and live. It takes time. All right. Outcome and advice. We've got the Hierophant and the King of Wands. Feels like tuning into your higher self, tuning into your alignment, your guidance system. When I started consciously tuning into my higher self, more than I tuned into my story and my surroundings, and spending a lot of time with my higher self. My higher self has a greater view from above of what's going on. Knows exactly what I want. I don't need to explain, because that's me and a higher perspective. Once you start trusting your own energy and learning how to navigate situations, then you can take action on and towards the version of you prefer to be and the life you prefer to have. Anything else? Indeed. Okay. Again, the Queen of Cups is coming out as a challenge. There's a need to heal those and be able to sit with emotions, to heal those traumas and wounds. So years ago that I'm talking about, when I was in this energy, I was emotionally immature. I didn't understand how to utilize my emotions to my benefit. And so I stayed in a vulnerable kind of state of being a bit of a damsel in distress. And not understanding what emotions were for. I did a lot of trauma dumping onto others. So if you recognize what I'm talking about, that's not, you can change that. You can shift that. You can learn how to process emotions. Learn how to sit with your own emotions without a story, and start getting curious about what these emotions are, where you're feeling them, and allowing you to feel your emotions without that story. That helps you move past those events. And when you let go of the story and you allow yourself to feel your emotions, what I've noticed is that the emotions get expressed and released, and what you're left with is wisdom. An amazing amount of wisdom. It looks like it's a challenge for you right now to move past that woundedness and that story. It looks like there's success for you if you are ready to shift this and let go of that story, to process your emotions and allow the wisdom from the experiences you've had to come through, so you can make moves and move on and have the success that you prefer and be the person that you prefer to be. So I hope that's helpful, Virgo. Thank you so much for being here and allowing me to translate these messages for you. So take care.